Welcome to Inside Carbondale. This is the podcast that brings you the latest information about projects and events going on in Carbondale. I'm Amy Fox, the Public Relations Officer for the City of Carbondale. It may be hard to believe, but 2017 is quickly coming to an end. But before we enter 2018, Carbondale Mayor John Henry is here to share some of the highlights from this past year. Thanks so much for joining me.
Oh, glad to be here, Amy.
And Mayor Henry, 2017 has certainly been an exciting year for you and the rest of Carbondale. What are some of your proudest moments?
Well, they're a little bit hard to put in priority order, but probably one of the best is the formation of the Community of Faith Advisory Council and they advise the mayor and consequently city staff on issues in Carbondale, what we can do to help them. They're close to their congregations and their communities. And so we've had some really, really good meetings. We meet once a month. It's not a city commission. It's a voluntary ad hoc sort of group. And it's been doing really well for us.
And I have to ask another proud moment, the Eclipse.
Absolutely. Our city staff just really stepped up on this Eclipse. And in fact, I was telling the manager even today how proud I was of our staff. They just worked and pulled it off. We had so many compliments from out-of-town visitors. We had people from all over the world here. I was interviewed by a reporter from Tel Aviv, Israel. We were on the front page of the Chicago Tribune. We couldn't have bought better exposure, and we couldn't have done a better experience for the folks that did get here. So.
And one thing that went really hand in hand with the Eclipse was the downtown streetscape project.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was another one I had on my list here. Is phase one is complete. Again, our contractors got it finished on time, just a little bit ahead of time. We didn't have any remakes on it. Our landscapers worked really hard on it. Again, city staff was down there every day to answer questions. It was a very complicated plan dealing with all the utilities underground and overhead, and we got it done. And again, a lot of compliments on that. And phase two is in the design stage right now, and it should be completed from the Varsity Theater to Monroe by fall enrollment at SIU.
Speaking of SIU, another thing that has really seemed to blossom, especially in the last 6 months or so, is the relationship between the city and the university.
Well, it absolutely has, and it's one of the things that I had set as a priority even when I was campaigning for mayor, was to rebuild the relationships with SIU and make them even stronger, because what's good for one of us is good for the other, meaning good for the city is good for SIU and vice versa. We need to do everything we can think of to rebuild our student enrollment, to give our students a good experience here. So, some of the things we're doing, just a quick list, we're offering more city internships to SIU students. Our people from the city are speaking at student events. I went and welcomed our international students at Morris Library this year. We had a city booth at the arena for the new student welcome. We had a really good time. Myself and a couple of police officers were there. We did meet the mayor and chancellor, and we had scheduled an hour for that, and we ended up being over 2 hours there.
People were lined up.
Yeah, and you were there, and I'm guessing 70, 80 people maybe.
It was quite a bit.
Yeah, that came through, and really, really a good experience for me and for the chancellor also, he said later. We're working together to bring more entertainment back to Carbondale and onto the campus. And the chancellor, I mentioned this when I very first met him, and he has set it as a high priority to bring entertainment back to Shryock Auditorium and the SIU Arena. As you know, we've been looking at finding festivals for Carbondale, developing a fall festival. We're working on that for next fall. So all of these things are important, not just for our SIU students, but to the community as a whole, to give it a hometown feel and get people that want to retire to stay here. We're also doing a lot of enhanced cooperation between our two police departments as far as our patrols, sharing information. Our radio systems are just recently compatible, where we can actually talk to each other directly. We used to have to use a secondary sort of system to do it. And that helps us respond more quickly and stay on the same page with everything.
And one of the top priorities is the budget for the city. And with so much uncertainty surrounding the state's finances, what types of challenges has the city had to overcome in the last year?
Well, the city, we passed a balanced budget, and just a month or two after that, the state passed their budget, which wasn't balanced by any stretch. But within that budget, they cost the city over $500,000, over $500,000 in not sending funds that they had traditionally always sent to cities. They cut back the local government distributive fund to all cities in Illinois. They also started a collection fee for our local taxes, which had never been done before. Both of these are opposed to being done again by the Illinois Municipal League. I'm on their board of directors and just came back from meetings in Chicago this weekend. We're hoping to roll back that 2% collection fee to 1% or eliminate it completely. The interesting thing is we're not even allowed to collect the taxes ourselves by law, so we're stuck with their fee. But again, we're living in the state of Illinois.
And lastly, want to discuss crime in the community. As you've said before, police officers are the most visible city employees and have the most interaction with the citizens here. What did 2017 look like for our officers?
Well, our overall crime rate is trending down in 2017 as opposed to 2016. That said, we are doing a little more community policing. We're doing more foot patrols, both in the neighborhoods and in our business districts. We are doing free security evaluations for businesses, and particularly houses of worship, given what happened recently in Texas, to help them secure their buildings and be safe. We have a police presence now at any large gathering in Carbondale, regardless if it's public or private. We will send extra patrols by there, and sometimes even have a police car in the parking lot of that. So all in all, we're doing very well with our policing. We're fighting a crime rate that's present all over the country and right here in the Midwest, all around us. So, but we're doing a good job, I think.
Obviously, 2017 has been a big year for the city of Carbondale. So what's next in 2018?
Well, first and foremost is that completion of Phase 2 of the downtown revitalization. And also, if it doesn't happen before the end of this year, right after the first of the year, we'll roll out our free Wi-Fi for the downtown area, which is another amenity that our students are looking for. And a lot of our citizens would like to have that when they're down there in restaurants having lunch, to have access to free Wi-Fi. So those are two of the things that we'll be getting done for sure.
And lots of excitement here in downtown Carbondale and all throughout the city. And Mayor Henry will be highlighting all of these topics plus more in the State of the City address, which will be held Tuesday, December 12th at the Carbondale Civic Center. That event starts at noon. And to learn more, you can visit carbondalechamber.com. Thanks so much for joining me, Mayor Henry.
Thank you, Amy.
And we hope all of you will join us next time for another episode of Inside Carbondale. Have a great day. If you have feedback or have ideas for future podcasts, feel free to email me at afox@explorecarbondale.com.